Returning. You love it. It's the Starting Six. In case you haven't figured it out by now, or you're just new to us. This season the PWHL introduced the Starting Six, where we get to recognise the best forwards, defenders, and goaltender for the past month. Now, of course, the last time we did this was back to recap January's Starting Six, which had a bit of a controversial pick in Frankel being snubbed and gets replaced with Desbier. Yeah. And we did wonder, what did they do for February? Because there were games in February. Yeah. There were 3 games in February. But obviously, on the reason they did not do a Starting Six for February, so we're now back. We are now back. We've had a month off. Yeah, we've had a month off from it, but we are back, ready to recap the Starting Six for the month of March. It's of course been a big month for the league, and also for us three, because obviously March was when we had our wonderful first ever trip out there to attend the PHL in person. And like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more of those in the future. Ideally, we'd like to do them as frequently as possible, but also where it's financially and humanly doable as well. Yeah. So we're hoping to make those more recurring than I have done when I've got the so we are hoping to do more recurring trips out there to the state of hockey and just the PHL in general. Just catch games where we can. Like I said, we'd like to consider maybe do the inaugural 6 bonds. Yeah. So anyway. So here we go. So I've got it here. So the PWHL announces the Starting Six for the month of March. So the reminder, this monthly award recognitions, it recognises the... Shall I start again? I know, I've been so tongue-tied since we've come back. It's been... So this monthly award recognises top 3 forwards, 2 defenders, and 1 goaltender. So your Starting Six for the month of March are as follows. Okay, here we go. So they are Kelly Paddock, Minnesota Frost, yay! Laura Stacey, the Big 12 of Montreal, Susanna Tapani, Boston Fleet, Nicole Gosling, Montreal Big 12, Hayley Wynn, Boston Fleet, and Aaron Franco. She's back, Boston Fleet, she's back again. Oh, don't! Don't go there! Oh, honestly, I should have seen that coming. Oh, honestly. Right, there we go. So we start with Kelly Paddock from Minnesota. She's having an incredible campaign, especially this second half. I think we're thinking about protection lists in the summer. So end of May, beginning June. Yeah, I think we need to seriously have her locked in, because I think she would be ripe for the taking. Expansion teams would do everything to get Harbour, so I think that's what we'll look at when we get to protection lists. Yeah, because expansion does feel imminent. Yeah, it does feel like news is very imminent on that. So Paddock earned her second straight Starting Six selection after continuing to lead the PHL in scoring with 23 points in 23 games, and with teammates Tara Heisey in the month, she recorded 8 points in 8 games, 4 goals for assists, tying for the league lead during that span, and found the score sheet in 6 of those contests. Her production included 2 power play goals, both of which stood as game winners, highlighted by an overtime tally against Toronto on March the 8th. That, of course, was the last game before our trip. That was one where I thought Tia got lucky to get a point out of it. No, you did. I did feel that way. Both Tia's goals, you watch it back, a bit kind of fluky. Yeah. The 30-year-old who returned from the Winter Olympics with a gold medal as a member of TSA also reached the 50-point milestone for her career, just the 11th PHL player to reach that. After entering 25-26 with 7 career regular season goals, the Plymouth native has found the back of the net 12 times, tied for the league lead. Yeah, it's just incredible, and I will concur with my partner here. I think when you're thinking about who do you put on your protection list, she has to go at the top, even if it does mean that we run the risk of doing what Boston did last year, and you leave your cats exposed, and you run the risk of her being taken. Because obviously, no way we're going to let Heisey go. Panic, I think you could suggest should be someone to lock in. And then here we get the third slot. Because obviously, with Shisaba now traded, it opens the door to you could do step on again, and then run the risk of the else or something, correct? Yeah. I thought we got so lucky the last expansion round. Yeah, because there were so many big guns that both the Golden Eyes and Toronto could have taken, and they didn't budge. No, they didn't take massive bites that they could have done. Yes, they took scalps, but it wasn't like massive bites, so I'm not sure how lucky we're going to get this next one. But yeah, she's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, you compare to what she did last season to this season, I mean, she's already doubled the amount of goals that she got in compared. It's just incredible. I mean, she's having a real good run, you know, and I just feel she should be up there in the conversation awards, but everyone's talking about Franco, those carries. It just feels like, but I just feel like you need to have some froth taken in there, because Heisey's making a case of MVP. We tried that, we did, and every time she got, that's the period we did chat that. Parek's also making a case of MVP. Yeah, so I know everyone's talking about Franco or Desmond for MVP, but I'm thinking, no. They can be nominees for goaltender of the year, definitely. Well, we'll be. But I think we're talking MVP. At least one of them should get nominated. Yeah. So Franco. Yeah. Well, if it's Franco, then I think you would have to find it hard to not give it the crown. But yeah, but Parek's has been incredible, and I will go as far to say, because I don't want to think, because obviously we don't have expansion news confirmed yet at recording this in the beginning of April. We are expecting that in the next week or two. Yeah. I think she should be probably one of the players that we will list as potentially protection, but it might be one where I lose out because you two will be like the 2 against 1 approach. So you two already say you should be locked in, and I think that probably will end up being who we could put on the list, but we'll see. Okay, so we go on now to Laura Stacey from the Montreal Victoire. So Stacey was among the league's top scorers in March. She recorded 8 points in 8 games following her return from the Olympics, with Team Canada tying for the PHL lead during that span. Her offensive output featured 4 goals and 4 assists, while her 30 shots on goal added to her league leading total, now at 98 on the season. The 31-year-old also posted a +7 rating, playing a key role in Montreal's record-tying 11-game point streak. Her month was highlighted by a season-high 3-point performance, 2 goals, 1 assist, on March the 19th. That was against Seattle, where she scored the game-winning goal on a short-handed jailbreak tally. Stacey Surge has accounted for half of her season production, as she now sits with 18 points in 23 games and ranks 3rd in team scoring. Great to see her. Maybe got up the tally, because obviously now she and Marie Plan, the power couple. Yeah, they are the league's power couple. Yeah. And I think everyone always talks about Plan, but I'm not sure if Stacey gets that much of a shout now. So I think it's kind of good that while Plan's been out on the LTIR, Stacey's really stepped up to the plate, and I think that's what you need for a team like Montreal when your captain like goes down. You need to know who's going to be that next player that steps up, and Stacey has literally done that. And I'm not surprised. So again, we're talking about potential award nominees. Maybe it's and again, when you think about expansion, you just know that Montreal is already decided. It'll be the exact same as last year. Yeah. So in Montreal, we don't even need to bother when we get to making the list. We could just get the free flash and go, that's it, done. Yeah, because no way would you dare split those two up. It would just be such an awkward conversation about the dinner table. Yeah, it would just be like, no, you don't want to go there. Yeah. But I think she's had an incredible month, and she's got that experience. Really has stepped up. You've been really impressed with Montreal, George. How they've well, I said it at the start of the season. I thought Montreal was my pick to at the start of the season. At the start of the season, Montreal was kind of my prediction to not win the World Cup, because I don't do cup predictions. They were kind of my prediction to do well and be up there for the top spot. Because I felt Montreal's losses in the expansion process last year were not as huge as some of the other teams were. Yeah, it wasn't really gelling in that first half. But since we've come back from a Lara Cortina, the Big 12 gone on a massive 10. I mean, was it at 11, 12 now, potentially, in a row? With a point. That's more than Tio did in season 1, because Tio went 11 consecutive games with at least a point. I think Montreal have now eclipsed that. This is in season 3. So this is incredible stats we're seeing, guys. I mean, the Big 12 are absolutely scared. And I feel like a player like Laura Stacey, so you need to watch out for if you go and face them in the playoffs. She's gonna literally just light it up for them. It's gonna be stand back, yeah, don't wanna face that. You don't wanna face that, no. But yeah, so it's great to see she's managed to now step up. I hope she'll be able to continue that pace if and when MPP comes back. Yeah, we know she's still on LTIR. Hasn't been activated off it yet. If I was a Big 12, I would probably wait until the playoffs. I wouldn't dare run the risk of bringing her back in and then she gets injured again. It's played ever since the Olympics. It really has. Right, we'll move on to Cesar Tapani for the Boston Fleet. So Tapani was a key driver of Boston's league-leading performance in the month, recording 8 points in 10 games, 4 goals, 4 assists, tying for the PWHL lead during that span. Her production accounted for half of her season total, as she sits with 16 points on the year and included points in 7 of 10 contests. 32-year-old team Olympian contributed to the Fleet becoming the first team in the league to clinch a playoff berth, and sadly that wasn't going for us. Doing so faster than any team in PHL history, while also holding first place in the standings. Tapani's all-around game was on display, as she posted a face-off win percentage above 50% in 7 games, including 3 performances of at or above 60%. She currently ranks tied for second in his scoring with 16 points, 8 goals, 8 assists in 24 games. That's 1 point behind Megan Keller, their captain, entering April. She's just 2 points shy of matching her career high set in 30 games in last season, and is closing in on the 50-point milestone with 47. 47 career points. Will she be lucky number 12? Will she be lucky number 12? There's still time, probably. I just want to focus on the face-offs. That is just incredible. I mean, we all know how important the face-offs can be, especially how it's Montreal's games. We managed to see them just win a face-off and then fire the puck, and then boom, it's in the back of the and they've got a goal. Yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah. So, the fact that Paddy's literally just riding out and just dominating the face-off category, that is just impressive stats to see from a player like that. I mean, we know how good she is. Obviously, she started out with PWHL Minnesota, was then traded, was in that first trade in league history, which of course saw us get Subby Jakes in return for them taking to Paddy. And she actually hasn't put a foot wrong with them. Yeah. And of course, she was a huge boost to them in that first season in the playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, she was particularly in that CFR ride against Montreal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just feel like she's just been incredible. I mean, the face-offs, I mean, to get more than 60%. Yeah. It's like, wow. Yeah, especially when you need to win those key face-offs, particularly in a high-stakes game. That is just incredible. And of course, Boston hasn't really slipped up that much in terms of, you know, overall performances. So, yeah, I mean, Paddy's doing really well. Again, why do I keep bringing back expansion? Because we are recording this literally a few days after the MSG game, and of course at the MSG game there was a press conference beforehand, which basically had people where basically the league confirmed news is on its way. Yeah. Plus, we have spent the entire season being like how we were last year, being like, oh, there could be expansion coming. We need to start thinking, will it be, will it not? But all the signs pretty much now point there is definitely going to be expansion coming in. Of course, when it does break, we will be straight back here. Hopefully with our jubilation of the market's chosen, but we'll see. We'll see, yeah. Because there's been quite some furores going on since we got back from the state of hockey. I don't think they protected her last time. I think they took the risk. They did, yeah. But I think she's a good player that Boston would be thrilled to keep if they could find a way to keep her. Okay. Right, speaking of players that you'd want to keep, we're going to Montreal now for next up. It's Nicole Gosling. Yes, because obviously, of course, the situation with the other Gosling. Yup. That's going on. Yeah. Oh my god. But honestly, even if that Tio didn't make the trade to New York, she still wouldn't have gone because to Tio, because they would have then taken over. So but I just remember when that trade happened on the floor, and I bet Montreal were thinking, "Thank you," because they could basically take what would be a really good star talent, but it would have been quite hilarious if Tio had the opportunity to replace Juan Gosling with another. Anyway, so Nicole Gosling earned her second straight starting six selection after recording 6 points in 8 games during the month, with her production accounting for more than half of her season total. That's 11 points in 23 games. Her month included 1 goal and 5 assists, along with a +7 rating, continuing to provide steady two-way play on Montreal's blue line. Her top performance came on March the 15th, so that was when us three were in Denver. Despite a 4-3 overtime loss against first place Boston, where she recorded her first career multi-point game with 2 primary power play assists. Gosling added 3 assists on the advantage overall during the month, and averaged 22.08 of ice time per game. 23-year-old now sits tied for 4th in team scoring and is a co-leader among Montreal defenders alongside Katie Tabin, while also tied for 5th among rookies and all defenders in league scoring this season. So Gosling's really found for a name for herself. I mean, when you look at a team like Montreal that's got Laura Stacey, Marie Fleet-Plain, Ambrose, you look at that, you think, and also now Abby Brock, who's slotted in very nicely. Yeah, slotted in very nicely, yeah. Will they be able to hold on to her? I don't know. Yeah, so you think the players like Nicole Gosling, who only just got drafted this time last year, you think it'd be quite hard for a player like that to slot in and try and find these productive numbers, and yet here she is. We're coming to the end of the season now, and yet she hasn't done that. The record's not that shabby. She hasn't done that bad. Now the problem is though, she's on a team like Montreal, who's already got star-studded players who are going to be locked in when it comes to protection. You got beat you to it this time. Beat you to it this time. Beat you to it there. We're talking about expansion. You think, oh, would that be a player that, oh, maybe, like how Tio lost Junior last year, could Montreal lose Nicole this year? Would not surprise me one bit. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, we got another goal stick anywhere that can come up. You know, no, okay, fine, no, but no. Yeah, so I think she's done very well. I mean, obviously, that game against Boston, wow, Montreal looked back and think, oh, if only we could have just hung on. Obviously, we were at our seat. Yeah, we were at our seats when it got to the closing point of those two earlier games, because obviously we were in Denver, so that meant we were on the Mountain Time. So that meant that the games in the Eastern zones were early morning in our time. So we got to our seat in Ball Arena. I was able to follow the last moments of both the upper games. That was Seattle at TO and then Boston at Montreal. And then we got those results in, so we could then focus on our. I think I did ask you to. Did you want me to look them up? And you both said yes, because we kind of thought at that point, you know, we were at the close stage. I had just finished doing the pre-game recording, so photos and doing warm-ups and of the arena, and also doing the warm-up video footage. So I got all that done. So I thought these two, just so I then start preparing to get ready to record the starting lineups and all that. So you wanted to look at the scores, so you said yes, so yeah. Basketball Montreal's going to look back thinking, oh, if we could have got that, and then have some confidence, because if they meet Boston in the playoffs, then it could, no, she's had a really great season, and I think she's something that Montreal will need to be praying to the gods that they can somehow keep, because Montreal needs depth scoring. It has bit them in the arse twice in the postseason, and yet the broadcasters are saying, well, Montreal's not finding it, but we're seeing it come to light in the regular season. What's going to happen when we get to the end of the month and playoffs kick in? Is that where Montreal will falter, and could that be the saving grace if we do end up facing them? Because obviously it's how we're recording this. We clinch, Montreal's clinch, and Boston's clinch. If we are vulnerable to be taken and chosen by the league champions, do we run the risk of facing Montreal? Do you think that's the only? I think that if we were to face Montreal, the only saving grace we would have is we have reliable depth scoring all year round, where Montreal basically goes to hibernation come playoffs. Oh! Yeah. Oh! She's just knocked him down. In disbelief. Oh! I think that was a real kick in the nut just then! Oh! They're married, it's fine. Wow! Okay. Wow. I need a moment to process that. Wow. He actually went there. Yep. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's fair. I know it's fair, but really? It's kind of fair, because Montreal's off depth. It hasn't really come to light in two postseasons. Now, you could argue in season one, yeah, they got swept. But in season two last year, when you played well in the first three of that 4-game series, because it was a very tight, close series last year. I mean, that easily could have gone to 5, but then but it just, I just look at, I do think I do agree with that. I think with Montreal, if we're thinking about off the depth, it doesn't really come alive when it gets to playoff time. It really doesn't. So now I think we better move back to Boston. We're going and Haley Wynn, who making her mark to be the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I think Gilday's chances are going out the window. I'll tell you who's definitely gone. Carlton Okafor, just because she's on LTR. Yeah. So Hayley Wynn, Boston Fleet. So Wynn made an immediate impact following her turn from the 2026 Winter Olympics with TSA, leading all defenders in scoring and tying for the league among all skaters with 8 points in 10 games. Her offensive output included 3 goals and 5 assists, while her 35 shots on goal tapped all players during. Topped all players during that span and brought her season total to 78. The rookie surge accounted for half of her season production. She now sits tied for second in team scoring with 18 points in 24 games. Wynn also ranked second in scoring among PHL defenders and 1 point behind Keller, while leading all rookies in points. The 20-year-old continues to lead the league in both total time on ice and ice time per game on season, and she averaged 26 of ice time per game from February 28th through the end of March. The Rochester native finished the month on a high note, riding a career high 4-game point streak, recording 2 multi-point games during that time. I think Hayley Wynn has been absolutely incredible. I mean, I said it not long after last year's draft in Ottawa. I said that players like Wynn and Abby Newark are going to really help Boston in the long term. You look at where Boston were last year, you miss out the playoffs on a tiebreaker. Your coach then takes up a new job in Princeton, and you then, of course, lose your captain and all-time greatest player of our generation in the US to expansion. You let her go. So you look at Boston and think players like Wynn Newark, yeah, you could see them making an impact, but not right away. Not literally right away. I thought these were players that could maybe 2 or 3 years down the line would then be relieved by Boston. That much needed firepower that we knew they had lost in the expansion process, and mainly to Seattle. Yeah. So what do we? I have to say, I think it's very impressive that Hayley Wynn has just come in and lit the league on fire. This is what I think KK's going to do next season. Don't stop. I'm just saying, can we just lock it in now for a Rookie of the Year? Oh no, Pluto! Because this is basically what I think KK's going to do. Whoever gets to be first, gets to pick first role, she will slot in, and she's going to turn that team around, and she's going to come in, and we're going to literally be all draw. Because if anything I saw in Milano Cortina, just you right, boys and girls, just you right. So we basically feel like it's going to be like a Sarah Furlow that's locked in. Yeah. So you're locking that in now. Yeah. Because basically Sarah Furlow last year came in and she had a really good first season. It was pretty obvious she was going to get that Rookie of the Year award, even though we had some good nominees alongside her in Jen Gardner and obviously Gwyneth Phillips. Although Gwyneth Phillips was the latter half, that's where she really picked up. Yeah, whereas Jen Gardner wasn't all year round, but obviously, yeah. So I would not be surprised if Hayley Wynn does lock in that award. It does feel like this year's award season might be similar to season 1, because in season 1, Tio just dominated the categories. It would not surprise me if Boston, and I know Tess Drew already thinking about this on Drops and Jobs, it would not surprise me if Boston came in and tore the award season to shreds, because they pretty much earned it. So, but I do think it's been impressed with Hayley Wynn. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the playoffs with her, because I think if she continues this into the playoffs, then Boston stands a really good chance of at least getting to the finals. So it's just been impressive to watch her season this year. Because you're right, George, she's a player that, I mean, we all knew she was going to get taken second overall. We all knew she was definitely going to go to Boston. We just didn't predict New York shenanigans with the first overall pick. No, I didn't. No, and I'm on the record for saying that. Because I picked Casey O'Brien to be first overall pick. Yeah. So you basically after Malacca, you basically did a me and locked in KK as your projection, but go first overall. Yeah, but unlike you, I'm not the one who's going to have scrambled egg on his face. Oh! 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 Wow, he's going for it. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's been impressive what Hayward's done this season. Has been really good, so I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen with her in the future. Yeah, in the future. So I'm really looking forward to see what's going to happen there. Okay, and finally, she's back where she belongs. And Franco, the Boston Fleet. Franco delivered a dominant month, leading all goaltenders across every major category as her record-breaking season continued. In 8 starts, she allowed just 7 total goals while winning 7 games, posting 4 shutouts and finishing the month on a PHL record 3-game shutout streak. The 2026 Olympic gold medalist with USA did not allow a goal over her final 191.01 minutes of play in March, another PHL record for the 26-year-old. Across 8 games, she recorded a .966 save percentage alongside a 0.87 goals against average. Take aside 200 shots, all PHL highs. Her month was highlighted by a 35 save shot performance against Vancouver on March 24. Franco now owns a single season record with 7 shutouts in 25-26, 2 more than Amory Desbiens, and leads the league in goals against average with 1.17, save percentage 0.954, wins 16, and minutes played 1282-32, and is a big reason why Boston stands atop the PHL standings. Do I need to say any more? Give her the gong. Give her the gong! You said this back in December. I've been saying this since December. Give her that gong. Just lock it in now. Goaltender of the year, and Franco, lock it in now. I don't care what happens to the post. Just lock that in now. We all know the awards only count for regular season. Lock it in. Right. Lock it in. Lock it in. Right. Lock it in. Lock it in. Just lock it in. Jada, Amy, give it to her now. 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 Come on. Do I need to say any more? It's insane. And I told you guys. I said if she plays like how she can play the Fleet Malacca, we were going to get gold. I told you. He's on the record. I'm on the record. Go and check the tapes. I told you guys. I said it. Okay, this is just those numbers you just read on. It's insane. You gotta remember, she was also nominated for Gold in 2024 and 2025, and yet got snubbed for the Canadian Twos netminder. Yeah, this is just insane. Now, just what? Oh my God! Protect her at all costs. Protect her at all costs. Expansion. Yeah. Just you're lost for words. You're speechless. I mean, we knew how impressive she was even back in season 1, because it was towards the end of season 1 when she really started to properly shine, and we all, I know after that game, after that shot she did as us, which kind of helped Boston get as much needed battle 3 points to then lock in their spot. Before we did, we all thought, oh, is this to make us someone special here? And then proved it in the playoffs, because obviously Boston was able to sweep Montreal in that first 75 round, and then they got so close to them being the one who got to make the history instead of Boston. So, yeah, but it's just incredible. If Boston wins the World Cup, that's your reason. Agree, that's your reason. If Boston wins the World Cup, and we're talking about their championship run season 3 of Dreamland next year, George, then I'm going to be constantly saying, Franco. Well, tell us we're drinking game right now. Yeah, how many times if that ends up being the case, because, you've had the likes of Beckham Keller, who's done brilliantly as their new captain. Alina Muller continues to shine. You've had Haley Wynn, Abby Nero to slot in. But Franco is the big reason why the Boston Fleet are where they are, and I think are a very, very good shout to be the ones who then follow in our footsteps as World Cup champions. Yeah, it could happen. That would be the likely suggestion. Yeah. But just time will tell. Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. Who knows what's going to happen, especially given how the number 1 seed has not had good fortunes in these playoffs the last 2 seasons. So time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah, but yeah. Like I'd like you to just oh my god. I mean, she did incredible with Milan Cortina. She allowed 2 goals in that tournament. First game, the last game. And here we are now. She's just continuing. What's that? 16 wins. That is just. It's just insane. I can't believe that. It's just. I'm blown away. And honestly, I can see why some of the broadcasters and particularly Tess and Julia or Doctors are now starting to say, is she your leading candidate for MVP? I can sort of see it. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Because obviously, Taylor Heisey and Kate Pike are making good shouts, but I would not be surprised if they get overlooked by Aaron Franco. Yeah, but it's just been impressive, and we've yet to have a netminder win MVP. No, that'd be incredible. But how they don't really get that much shout when it comes to playoffs. I mean, was last year the first time in hockey we've seen a netminder win MVP in playoffs? Yeah, might be. I'm not too sure if it's happened in my 17 years with the AHL, but I know in the AHL it has happened because it happened last year in the Cold Cup playoffs with Abbotsford. Their netminder got named MVP, and then he got traded to Pittsburgh. And then Abbotsford crashed and burned. So we're going to have a new Cold Cup champion. The playoffs haven't even started yet. But yeah, so it's just very incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That is the starting 6 of the month of March. So we've got just one more of these to come. One more of these to come. This has been fun over the years. I mean, now you're not really keen on it, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Yeah, just go and lie down, let the grown-ups talk. And who knows, by the time we do get to the April one, expansion could already have been announced, and we could be, as been doing, start naming players who we think might need to be considered as protection. Yeah, because we are going to have to start thinking about that very, very soon. Yeah, but obviously we'll get to expansion. Yeah. So there you go. So that is a rundown of all the players who were named to the starting 6 for the month of March. And until next time, we'll also say take care, guys.